Hello. So I'm back on the Good Enough Mums page, and what I thought I'd talk about today is all about the end of the summer holidays, because we're nearly there now, and I wonder how all you mums with school-age children are feeling towards the end of this 6-week break, because it's such a long time and it can be really difficult to keep thinking of various things that you can do, and you've possibly been away and you come back and now you're getting ready for the school term to start, and this time of year can often be quite fraught with having to get new shoes and spending money, and you've all been as a family all together for quite some time now, and it can be quite hard work, or at least that's the way I used to find it. And I think, especially if we are struggling with feelings of not being good enough, what can happen is we can start perhaps feeling that we haven't perhaps spent the holidays as we'd hoped they'd be, or we can perhaps get a bit cross with ourselves if perhaps the children are annoying us and we shout at them, or it all just feels a bit too much for us. And so I wonder if perhaps some of us are feeling a bit frazzled. So I thought I'd address that particular problem in my live feed today. And if you come on, please do say hello. So what can we do? How does it feel for you at the moment? The thing that leaps into my head is the thought of the fact that we can look around at other people and think that they're coping so much better than us, and that other people's holidays, they're much more calm than us, or they're much more organised than us, and their children are probably much better entertained than ours are, and they're much more patient, etc., etc. And it's so easy to fall into this negative comparison with other people. But of course we really don't know what happens behind closed doors. But when we start thinking like that, we start focusing on all the things that we don't like about the way we parent, and we forget about all the good things that we do actually do. We forget about the times where perhaps we have made an effort to do stuff for them, even if it hasn't necessarily been well received. But we often do try our hardest, but often we look at our hardest and don't think it's good enough. But what are we doing? We're probably setting ourselves up to fail by setting our expectations very high, and perhaps being perfectionist about what we expect of ourselves and possibly even our children. And we forget that kids are kids, and they are going to moan and complain when we set up a lovely day for them down at the beach or something like that. And then we get cross with ourselves because we expect ourselves to be perfect mothers and not to tell them off when they're shoving sand in each other's mouths or something. But you probably get the point in that we have to sort of, in a sense, forgive ourselves for not being perfect, and alongside forgiving ourselves for not being perfect, we also need to forgive our children as well, and to let go of those expectations of ourselves. And the other sort of thing to think alongside that is, where do we put our focus? What are we focusing on? What are we telling ourselves about our parenting and about our children? Are we perhaps in danger of just looking at all the negative stuff? And when I sort of talk to my children about their summer holidays and what they remember, what they actually remember are the sort of the fun things, and they actually forget quite a lot of the mundane things. And we can beat ourselves up about the stuff that we didn't do on those days where perhaps they sat and watched TV all day. And we forget about the things that we do where we take them out, and the things that perhaps aren't so easy to do, where perhaps they do moan a bit, but which nevertheless, they can look back on and remember that we always did that. So, things like perhaps taking them out for a walk when they don't want to go, or, making them do little projects or stuff over the holidays that they moan about. But nevertheless, in the future, you've still built that into their lives. They've still learned something from that, even if, really it was quite hard for you at the time. And also they do remember a lot of the fun things that families do together. And those are the things that they're going to look back on. And children will find things about their lives to enjoy. So try not to be too hard on yourself in all of this. You know, you are only human, and there's only so much that you can do at any one time. So try and be kind to yourself. And if you're feeling a bit frazzled, you know, it is only a week to go now. And see what you can see that's been really positive about what you've done. And ask the kids maybe what they've enjoyed. And sometimes they come out with such funny things, and you sort of think that was such a small thing, and the smallest things they can actually remember. And we can get caught up in thinking, you know, we didn't take them away, or we didn't do this, we didn't do that, or the other. And yet for the children, it can be the smallest things that actually made an impression on them. So why not ask them about what they've enjoyed about the holidays and see what they say? And, you know, if you'd like to tell me what that is, you know, ask your children and then come back and comment below the live video. What have your children enjoyed about the holidays? I'll leave you with that thought, and I look forward to hearing your answers. Take care of yourself, and it's only a week to go. Bye.